right. I think it's on Facebook now. So thank you, ladies, for showing up and joining me. We wanted to chat about the sparkling possibilities of foundation. And I know each of you have chosen more than one foundation.
Yes.
And so I want to maybe open with that. Like, why would you choose foundation more than once? And what do you get out of it when you repeat? And anybody can just quick little bites.
So I'll jump in. My first one was a global foundation, which was this large group with both founders of Access, Gary and Dane. And I was so excited to be in the room with the energy. And I also felt like there were sections that just kind of flew by and didn't land anywhere. And so being able to do it in a small group with you, that was a really nice chance to be really specific, ask questions. And the other thing I want to say really quickly is that I really appreciated, having that been my first exposure to Gary in person, I really appreciated your personal stories of having known him over time. And it just gave him a total different flavor in my world than what he shows up as in Global Foundation. And I really appreciated that.
Yeah, that's so funny. Meeting him for the first time when he's like dealing with thousands of people and like the grouchiness that sometimes comes up, and you know, a lot of it is sarcasm and fun to break some of the rigid points of view that we have, but it can come off really harsh for people who don't know him. So thank you for having an open mind and for being willing to go further and find out, because like the tools work, and whatever personality you learn them from, the tools work. And I've found that listening to different facilitators over the years, I get the tools in a different way by the different ways that different facilitators share the tools. How about you, Cindy?
Yes, I was going to say definitely different facilitators bring their own experience, the way they use the tools. So you always get something different, but also the foundation changes. Like it gets thicker and thicker. And we were just talking sometimes during Global Foundation, the reason they created Global Foundation is to bring questions, you know, where people are. So people are in different places in their lives, and the questions are actually what create the foundation. And it's like, it's so awesome how we're included. It's not like, well, Dane and Gary are like, they're creating all the tools. I mean, they put them in a practical way that people can listen to them, receive them, and then use them. But the way they listen to each question, the way they facilitate, it's just awesome to witness. Yeah. And also to receive the manuals to go back, and then, yeah, definitely I enjoy doing a lot of one-on-one foundation with different facilitators, because you do have that moment of asking questions that are really a little more personal that maybe you wouldn't want to ask in a room full of 3,000 people.
Or they don't get to you.
Or they don't get to you. Exactly. So yeah, and your life is changing my from last year to even like, you know, a month ago. My life is so different. So I'm always creating, choosing something different. So it's never the same. And that's why I love doing foundation.
So true. So true. And I noticed, like, even facilitating the foundation, every single one is different. And I get so much out of going through the manual again and dealing with people and the energies that come up, and each person in the room can perceive when somebody is maybe being obstinate, or where they do let go of something. When they let go of something, there's this big opening and everybody lets go of it at the same time. It's just really cool to perceive the shifts that occur, even if you've heard it before 100 times.
Right. So I have my foundation manuals right here on my desk. They're always sitting there for me to pop into whenever that's required. And I don't pop into them often enough. I always feel that way after I have this awareness. So I've done global and I've done in person. I enjoy both. However, what I enjoy about in person is kind of what's been expressed is like in the moment, you can ask this question that's popping into your head right now and get facilitated immediately. You don't have to wait or have the possibility of not being able to ask your question. I also like the connections that I have made in foundation classes. I have friends that I've made there that we're just friends now forever.
Mm.
And it's nice, you know, I was on a live in one of my groups and I was like, you know, get a buddy that you can connect with and, you know, that doesn't buy your story. And I was like, well, those people are kind of rare. You probably should do a foundation because not everyone might have the kindness and the caring, but they may not have the tools to, you know, really help you get to where, you know, is going to be greater for you in that moment. So I appreciate meeting people, facilitators, other foundation, you know, students, or I don't know if that's the correct word, because I now have people that can, I don't want to say meet me where I am, but have the tools to help me be me all the time and not buy my story or
Mhm.
go down the road with my silly points of view. So it's a
Yeah.
great space for some personal questions, facilitations, and it's also a great place to meet people who may be looking for similar things that you're looking for.
Yeah. And something else I would also mention is that when you choose a foundation or any of the access classes for that matter, there's going to be some discomfort. It comes up. It always does. I can't tell you how many times people have said, oh, I don't feel well. I don't think I'm going to come to class. But the discomfort is all of those things that we haven't been paying attention to that are coming up for you to change. And like moving through that discomfort can be so much quicker and easier than we think if we just show up.
Yes.
And
I
our
wanted
lives
to,
get greater afterward.
I wanted to add that the energy of the class begins to facilitate you as soon as you pay and register. It's not restricted to the class time. It goes way beyond that. I mean,
Yeah.
the manuals that I have, you know, I call it the gift that keeps on giving because it goes beyond the cost of the class and the time you spent in the class. It goes way beyond that, way beyond that.
Yep. So if you register early, you get more for your money. The other thing I did want to mention is that over the years, I mean, I've been facilitating for 18 years now. And over the years, I've co-facilitated with other people and heard stories from other facilitators. And I just want to impress upon you to check in with your knowing and find a facilitator that is going to push you. Because there are some that just sit there and read the manual and their heads are down the whole time. And like, there's not that engagement and interaction with your world as much. There are some that are kinder and gentler. There are some that are going to smack you. Like, find what works for you. You know, there's hundreds of facilitators out there. And maybe choose a few different people and see where you get the most change. Just because it's Gary or Dane doesn't necessarily mean that that's the best place for you to start. You have to use your awareness, ask some questions, and you know, it's going to take a little bit of time to build awareness sometimes. So allow yourself to just keep choosing. Don't stop with just one. Try it again. Try a different person. Let's see what shows up.
So one thing I wanted to say about being in the room with Julie was that when I asked some questions, it also brought forward things that were not, you know, like first in your foremost awareness. There was lots of information that came in that was like really cool. And it was just in that moment of being able to follow the energy. And that was very
You mean
good.
stuff that isn't in the manual?
Yeah, all that stuff we did about fraud patrol.
Oh yeah, that.
That was really different than how I heard it from somebody else another time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And sometimes that stuff amazes me too. Like when we actually get to access our knowing,
Yeah.
it's an amazing gift. And so asking the question is a gift. So thank you for that.
Can I also add, Julie, that you know, the bars is a prerequisite for the foundation. So when I did the bars, and generally when the purpose of the bars is to really get you to receiving, like that energy, also letting go of stuff, but really like receiving. So I'm receiving more awareness. So now what? And I felt like the foundation really gave me the tools to be like more ease with that, you know, that part of being a healer, without judgment, instead of like, oh, well, I'm not really, or, you know, like that doubt, that self-doubt that you have about your capacities, your potency. It's like, oh, this is what's true for me. This is
Right.
what's real for me, versus like buying into everybody else's stuff. And I felt like the foundation really gave me that, you know, hence foundation. You know, I felt really solid in who I truly be versus what other people projected onto me. So that in of
Cool.
itself was priceless. So
Yeah,
really
they
grateful.
are all designed to work together.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I love having my manuals here on my desk, because if I get sticky about something, I'll just like run my fingers over and just kind of flip it open. And it's always what I require in that moment, always. And I love having that at my fingertips all the time.
Awesome. Well, cool. I'm so grateful for you guys and just for sharing a little bit from your own point of view. And hopefully anybody listening will be inspired to choose a foundation or another foundation or lots of foundations. You know, if you choose it a second time or repeating, it's half price. As long as you do it, I think it's within 12 months.
Mhm.
So half price, that's pretty good. Choose again, choose again, choose again. And I think we will keep this short and sweet. Thanks so much for joining.
Bye.
I'll see you soon.
okay.